another episode of Gardiner's Plot. Today I'm going to be doing maintenance around the pond area. Although it is a wildlife garden and we do like it to remain as wild as possible, we still need to give it a little bit of maintenance. A few of the plants need trimming back, a little bit of weeding and things like that. So we'll do that. That's today's gardening job. And then we'll do plant of the week. Update on the seedlings. I say seedlings, they're not seedlings anymore. They're now teenagers. And they're coming along nicely, so we'll go through a little bit of what's growing. And I've moved a little few things around. Still roasting hot. As you can see, it's gorgeous weather still, but we just need rain. It's one good day of rain. So, yes, just one during the week. Because I've got plans on the weekend. So just nice downpour. That's all we want. That's all everyone wants. If you're listening, just a little bit of rain. Right, let's crack on with the greenhouse. The pond. So yeah, see you in a bit. Right, I'm going to sort this out today. I'm going to try and talk loudly so drown out the music that everyone seems to be blaring. I've got it all around directions, so just need to sort out a few of these plants that have fallen over there and just do a bit of weeding down here because the ferns are struggling a little bit. So right, I'll crack on with that. I've just done around the front of the ferns, mainly. That's the little sort of weeding I've done. I still want to maintain a little bit of ground cover, because at the moment all the little froglets are hopping around, so they do need a little bit of cover going around the garden. Just wanted to sort the ferns out because they were struggling a little bit in this weather, so I don't want to give them any competition for water or anything like that. Just get them a little bit of breathing space. And then I've just tidied up that little section of the pond there, moved that iris seed pod back, and rearranged the log pile a little bit. It's still a little bit floating in the water. Just that little bit. Ooh, there's a finger just there. But the frogs do use it as a little refuge when they're actually in the pond as well. And all those I got for. I didn't pay anything for any of those logs. It's what I found in the garden. It's what you can use as a border fence. And the other three bigger, longer pieces I actually found on a walk. So, and they make great places for wildlife, especially if you stack them. All the little tiny grooves and nooks and crannies allow the insects and wildlife to get right in and use it as a refuge. When I cut across to fix it, I think I just showed about 20 different species of insect. So there you go. Just that a little bit done. So now time for plant of the week. So as you can see, we're still by the pond, and today we're going to talk about duckweed. So this week's plant of the week is duckweed. So some people hate it, some people like it, and some people love it. And I love it. It has so many uses and provides a lot of different things beneficial for the pond and other things like that. So we'll just go through a few of the little things. So it's a tiny little plant that sits on the surface or just below the surface of still water or very slow moving water. It can also be known as water lens or bay root. It breeds by multiplying itself, so it's an asexual budding plant. So all you need is a couple of plants and it will gradually, in right conditions, will gradually just divide itself, and that's how it grows so rapidly. It's quite a high protein plant. Apparently it's got more protein than the soybean, and apparently it is a significant potential food source. So because of the high protein content of the plant. What else? Uses within a pond. It provides a lot of cover for various insects, fish, fry, amphibians and things like that. provides a nice little cover for the animals to come up to the surface without being hunted. Try and see if you can see some of those sticklebacks. They're currently hunted on the shore. If you can see them. No, they all disappeared. They're very slowly moving. Oh, there's one by the rock. So yeah, as I was saying, they provide a lot of cover for various different inhabitants of the pond. And also they actually remove quite a lot of excess mineral nutrients and phosphate and nitrate from the pond. Because it's so rapidly growing, it absorbs all these nutrients. So what you can do is just skim half of it, because it grows that quickly, and you can chuck that straight in your compost or straight onto the garden, and it provides a lot of nutrients for the soil. What else? They use it in wastewater as well, the treatment of wastewater. It also, because it provides that cover, it stops any mosquitoes from laying eggs and larvae forming. It sort of blocks the surface of the water. With that as well, it also reduces the amount of evaporation. So, especially in this heat of we've got at the moment, the pond has actually done remarkably well, because we've got that nice covering of duckweed. It stopped most of the water from from evaporating, and it also reduces a lot of the algae in the pond as well. So if you do have algae in your pond, chuck a bit of duckweed in, and it'll create that bit of shade and cover, which will stop the algae from growing. So there's a lot about this plant. It's a very useful little plant to have in your pond. So yes, I would definitely recommend some duckweed, especially in the wildlife pond. And it'd be great for, as I said, it's got so many benefits to it, especially for composting and things like that. So yes, the humble little duckweed. It's also great food for chickens as well. So if you have chickens, you can just skim half of it as well and chuck it straight for the chickens because of the high protein content. So there you go. That is today's plant of the week. Right, seedling update. During the week, I actually put up some netting over these guys. My mum bought me a couple of weekends ago, so I was like, oh, alright, put used to it. And I'm glad I did actually, because I think since I put it on and sort of kept them in a little bit of shade from the sun and heat that we've had this week, they seem to have done a lot better. So I'm quite happy with these guys. Like I said, they're starting to get some radishes showing up above ground now. Beetroot's coming on, so is the carrots, leeks and onions, and the parsnips in the back there. So I'm glad I actually put this up. So these guys I'm happy with, and they're doing quite well. An update on the corn. So the corn is getting massive now, looking quite nice and chunky. There's one or two smaller ones in there, and I've also planted some runner beans from the greenhouse into here now. I'm going to use these as cane from scrap, and then also grab the sweet corn. I've only put these in just to give these a little bit of support, because the wind was taking them a little bit. Big Mac's pumpkin I have now moved over to here, so hopefully he'll start trailing through the wild meadow, just wild bindweed at the moment. So yes, he's doing nicely, and we're quite happy with him as well. So over here, we're doing alright. Over on this side, French beans have now been moved out here. We've completely got rid of the broad beans and runner beans that were here. They were just fodder for aphids. They were beyond. So I've now moved the French beans over. I've got a little bit of leaf burn and a few munched ones, but as a whole, they're doing okay out here now. Got a nice big purple bit of cow. It's coming along nicely, so I haven't picked anything yet. Yep, less said about them the better. Although I've kind of left them there as sort of just slug fodder, so these guys will hopefully be alright. So I'm sort of using them as a distraction. And if anything comes of them, it comes of them, but I'm not holding out hope for these guys. And then tomatoes, I've moved out here as well. And we've starting to get a few flowers on these guys now. So this bit is all doing alright, and then, excuse the mess of the garden, the ornamental squashes over here are really starting to take off, and hopefully they'll go up over the aviary. And then if we go around the corner, chicken just eating the last little bit of treat I gave them. The squash plants I've moved over here, so hopefully they'll go up in this direction. And the 2 tomato plants I've also put here as well. So hopefully they'll use the chicken wire as a bit of a trellis as well. Yeah, this is why I have to clean the chickens out today. They're due a clean out today. But I've also put up a nice bit of shade for them, using what I've used for the seedlings by the greenhouse. Decided to put it on here as well, just to give them that extra little bit of protection. So there you go, seedlings all doing okay. So that's it for this week of Gardiner's Plot. Hopefully I've convinced some people to get duckweed in their pond, and because of the main benefits of it. So what else? Yes, that's a little update on the seedlings. Everything's doing quite well at the moment. The other little bit of news we've got is unfortunately we've lost Sparty, our dwarf flop female rabbit, this week as well. She was 8 or 9 years old. She was quite an old girl. She was sort of the matriarch of all the animals, if you like. She was the boss of everyone, and she always controlled Falcor. No matter who Falcor talked to, he still had to go back to his wife. So she will be missed, unfortunately. She just, I think, a combination of heat, old age, especially sort of similar to the chickens, is no matter what precautions we put in place, sometimes some of the older animals don't make it. So she will be missed. And I'll put a little thing at the end of the video as a remembrance for her. So hopefully that's the end of that spell, and everyone will be okay now. Everyone else seems to be quite a little bit younger. We've still got one old chicken, so she seems to be doing okay at the moment. So hopefully she'll be okay for a while yet. So I'm going to go actually clean out the chickens now, and I will see you on Wednesday for Workshop Wednesday. Might do you a video of my party. So yeah, Workshop Wednesday's going to be yeah, that bit hurts. Is going to be, oh yes, I'll do a video on my party for my 30th, which is in a couple of weeks, which is in a week's time. So yes, 30. So yes, I will do you a video of my party. There's gonna be lots of meat. That's what I'm gonna say. All right. On that note, stop. I love you too, but all right. See you in a bit.